What if before this NFL season started, I told you that the Cleveland Browns would be 4-2 6 weeks into the NFL season? What would your reaction have been? You probably would have had the same kind of answer as me, right? Happy, almost in disbelief, too good to be true, something of those sorts. But here we are, 6 weeks into the NFL season, and holy smokes, is Browns talk and Browns content just absolutely negative. I was listening to 92.3 the other day, and this isn't a shot at those guys because I love those guys, and they were talking about what quarterbacks would you rather have than Baker, and going down a list, and almost every answer was the quarterback, not named Baker, that they would rather have. And I'm just thinking, the Browns are probably going to make the playoffs this year, barring something insane happening. We're already talking about different quarterbacks or needing a new quarterback or afraid that we might have the worst quarterback in the division. We're not talking about everything we've done right this season, but already so quickly because of one bad loss, people are almost, it seems like, in a panic. Like we were on some sort of pedestal because we were 4-1 and we were these mighty elite Browns who are in a first year with a new head coach, a new scheme, play callers, new offensive linemen, lots and lots of new things on this offense alone. And I'm not even talking about defense yet. I guess I'm trying to figure out, why are there so many people out there who thought that this team right off the rip, a quarter of the way into the season, would be a Super Bowl contending team, or a team that we thought should go into Pittsburgh in Heinz Field banged up, shorthanded, and win that game. We haven't won there in 20 plus years, have you, right? So why this year? Why in a year one of a new system, a new team, where there was no preseason games, were we going to walk into Pittsburgh and win? Now, don't get me wrong, I was optimistic heading into Steelers week. I actually picked them to win the game in the video previous to this, but I'm also a realist, and I knew that it was definitely a real possibility that the Browns were going to walk away from Pittsburgh and out of Heinz Field with a loss. Those things happen. Now, would I have liked the loss to have been, by 10 points, 13, 14, 17 points? Sure. But at the end of the day, we walked in there and we got spanked. Absolutely spanked. And those things are going to happen, especially with a first-year team, with a first-year head coach, new play call, new scheme. Everything is new. And I want to give my hats off to Coach Stefanski, because even though we know Baker played like dog shit, right? I'm going to be blunt about it. Baker was dog shit. He took the blame for his quarterback, talking about how he needed to put the quarterback in better positions to win, that the scheme wasn't correct. He needed to do a better job of not getting Baker hit. But at the end of the day, this was a team loss. He wasn't protected enough. Baker wasn't really doing good enough. The running game was flat. Offensive line wasn't getting a push. Actually, the offensive line got demolished. But at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. When we look back on this, let's say next week, if the Browns go on to beat Cincy next week, none of us are going to really think about, oh my God, they lost by 30 to Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about how the Browns are 5-2 heading into week, 8. I just want to say, pump the brakes a little bit on the negativity. Are there some things to be concerned about? Of course. Did I expect to go through year one without having anything to be concerned about? No, I would imagine there to be bumps in the road. I would imagine there to be adversity, mistakes, whatever it may be. But I am concerned, which leads me into my next topic. All right, so I want to talk about Baker Mayfield. Me and a couple buddies of mine were actually hoping that Baker was not going to start against Pittsburgh and that the Browns were going to move forward with Case Keenum, just because we knew the potential dangers that Baker Mayfield was going to face against Pittsburgh. We were talking about how Pittsburgh runs just an incredible amount of, zero blitzes, how they get after the quarterback, how we knew Baker was going to take quite a few hits this week. That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. Knowing that Baker Mayfield's banged up, they were definitely going to make it a point of emphasis defensively for themselves. So I really thought that it wouldn't be a terrible idea to start Case Keenum against the Steelers. Then you get Baker 2 weeks of, resting time to heal up, to get his injuries figured out on his right side of his body. And all in the meantime, okay, worst case scenario, you lose against Pittsburgh, but you're 4-2 with a healthier Baker going against Cincy and a favorable part of the schedule coming up. But with that being said, I wouldn't mind if they sat Baker from here until the bye week or until whenever he was healed up and completely healthy. To me, there's no point of potentially ruining a good season the Browns are having for one loss. You got a guy like Case Keenum as a backup, a guy you brought in the offseason who knows the offense, who knows Stefanski's offense, a guy who knows what he's doing and can manage the game all in the meanwhile while your starting quarterback is getting healthy, who has been banged up, who got you to 4-2. I just think it wouldn't be a terrible idea. I know Baker's a competitor, and I know he wants to win. I know he wants to be out there for his guys. But at the same time, Baker wasn't ready to start against Pittsburgh. Baker needs to let the coaching staff know, or the coaching staff has to know themselves, that Baker was just not ready. He didn't take really any first-team snaps all week up leading into the Pittsburgh game. I just think it would have been smart to potentially not play him or start him against Pittsburgh and to let him heal up. I know it's easier looking back on it, but I wouldn't be mad even this week if they announced, hey, we're going to move forward with Keenum and we're going to let Baker heal up until the bye week or until the week after the bye week. And then after the bye week, you'd come back with probably Chubb healthy and Baker healthy. I just don't think it would be a bad idea. So let me know what you guys think about the potentially maybe sitting Baker until he's healthy or until after the bye week in the comment section. I would like to see what you guys have to think about that. But let's move on to my next topic. All right, next we have to talk about Sendejo at the safety spot. If I have to watch another week of him out of position, late to the ball, blowing coverage, I'm going to go insane. I know for a fact that there are practice squad guys out there who are faster and who can get to the ball much quicker than Sendejo. I'm not saying Sendejo has to be off the field completely, but if I have to watch him every single snap as a starting safety, I'm going to go nuts. And I know a lot of this is due to injuries and losing guys, Carl Joseph, Pitt. The list kind of goes on and on for injuries, especially at the safety position. But there has to be a better answer to Sendejo. Part of me thinks that Stefanski's kind of being true to his guy because he kind of did bring, Sendejo over from Minnesota, but the guy has been miserable. I feel like miserable is doing it justice, and I don't want to get really rated R on the stream, but he's been miserable. I don't want to be negative Nancy because I started the stream off about not being negative Nancy, but if there's one thing that everybody should be negative about and can be negative about, it's Sendejo at the safety position. If I woke up to a text tomorrow saying that the Browns have cut him, I'd probably do a party dance, and I'm not kidding. With that being said, let's get healthy at the safety position because, and I know they didn't bring Sendejo over as an every down safety. He probably was just going to play around in the box and float around on nickel and dime coverages, but it just so happens that he's playing because of the injuries. But he's got to go. As the every down safety, they have to find a better solution to him. I don't care if he's on the field, but I can't watch him every down, and he cannot be relied upon for an entire game. I hope you guys can agree with that, and I don't mean to hate on the guy, but enough is enough. He has been absolutely miserable. I want to move on from Sendejo. But let's talk about my last and final topic, and that is the rest of this Browns season. I think the Browns are going to be okay. We have already seen a tremendous amount of growth from top to bottom, from GM and the leadership to the head coach. I don't think there's a single person who can watch this video and really think, wow, Stefanski definitely isn't the right guy for the job. He has done a terrific job, and I'm going to put a video out on Stefanski here soon about what he's really meant to this football team. But from top to bottom, starting with GM and the leadership, down to the head coach, down to the players, we have already seen tremendous growth. And we're probably going to find ourselves in the playoffs with that extra, seventh playoff team. So there should be a lot to be positive about. So I just want to emphasize to people that negativity is contagious. It spreads like wildfire around the city, around radio talk, around sports talk in general with this Cleveland Browns team. The negativity is contagious. And I know that's easier said than done. I just want to be more optimistic, and I want to be more positive because this team has done and shown us a lot already through 6 games of the season. and I'm proud of them. And I think that the sky is the limit for this team. I think there's tons more growth that we're going to see throughout the year, especially with the easier part of the schedule. I mean, we end the season New York, Pittsburgh at home. In the Pittsburgh at home game, I can't wait to happen because, like I said, I do think the Browns win the last 3 games of the year. New York, and at home against Pittsburgh in a revenge game. But please, man, just try to stay positive. That's going to do it for this video. The amount of growth that we've seen is already positive enough. Let's not dwell over one loss in Pittsburgh. Let's keep hoping and keep praying that Baker gets a full recovery, recovers well, and continues to blossom as a quarterback, right? Tons of work to do for Baker. I get it. Am I a little bit worried with Baker? At times, but at the end of the day, he is definitely the best quarterback this city has seen in a very long time. The team is at 4-2. There's a lot to be positive about, so don't forget that. I just want to, kind of remind you guys. But if you guys like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Show any kind of love that you can. Like, comment, subscribe, turn those notification bells on, and yeah, more Cleveland Browns content to come. Thank you guys for watching and showing support if you do. And do not forget, go Dogs. Be positive, guys. We're winning this week against Cincy. Peace.